Station.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy time.
So, whoa. All right. Now, there you go.
Now I got some lights going on.
You got some lights going on. So, where is that exactly?
So I'm in the test kitchen in Rockwell.
Okay.
I'm sitting on the second floor. So the second floor, as we've gone and done takeouts and deliveries and ready to cook items, there's no real use of the second floor. And then the curing room is where I do all the bread. So I have the operations of the bread there. And then the
Uh-huh.
second floor I've turned into like a makeshift studio slash office where I can do some of the, administrative and creative work for the company.
Yeah. And so, first of all, what was the story of the mustache?
You know, I hope my wife's not watching this, but I'm just keeping it on to annoy her, to be honest with you. Like we've been in so many days now of quarantine, and I thought, I'm not going to shave. And then, it started growing on the sides of your cheeks, and then being half Asian, you get spotted areas that didn't look very nice. So I thought, oh, well, forget it. I'm just going to shave the sides, keep the goatee, and keep the mustache growing, and see how far we're able to take it. And it's surpassed my expectations. But you go through this period of having a very annoying moment of the mustache where it becomes very itchy. And anyone who's planning to do it, think twice, because it's a whole month in that moment where you're like, it's terrible that I don't want to do it. But then you persist and you just keep going, and then it should work fine.
That's good. So, let's start the conversation. All right. Thank you. And we're here talking to and thank you for All right. Welcome. Good morning, Chef Josh.
Good
And for those of
morning,
you
Anton.
watching in the replay or watching in the live stream, you can just comment if you want to join our discussion. Comment in the Facebook below, and or if you have any questions for Chef Josh. So, first off, how was quarantine for you, Chef?
Interesting, Anton. you know it kind of, so we expected this quarantine, since what, January of the year. We're hearing these stories of COVID-19, of course, coming out of Wuhan first, and then it's going across the world, Italy, Iran, and everywhere else. And it was only a matter of time when it was going to hit the Philippines. There was no way that we could have avoided it. But come March 16, when it literally doors were closed, like in one day, it was quite a interesting day, to be honest, because we literally closed every single restaurant of ours. There's 100+ restaurants to close in a day. But I
Wow.
can't say that we were surprised. We semi expected it. We knew it was on the verge of happening. We saw the trend of business slowing down, and then it was a good thing. We had to do it from a perspective of, as us countrymen, we needed to lock down. And I saw it only as a good thing to help those who needed the help most. But of course, our industry is based around socialization. It's based around, really people coming together and creating memories together. And of course, that was just blown out of the window in one day. So we've been, what, 60 something. I've
Yeah.
lost count. That's how long we've been
Two
in this
months.
quarantine. 2 months. And we're surviving day by day, to be honest with you, Anton. That's the only thing we can do at the moment.
And so that's why my wife was asking, that's why you've been quiet, huh?
I don't think now's the time. There's a lot of people suffering at the moment, and I don't want to use what we're doing, or the platforms that we're starting, or the things that we're commencing, to be a matter of showmanship. I think at the end of the day, we as a country are all in this together. Heartaches, whether we share them directly or indirectly, we should be quite professional and heed to our promoting skills at the moment. I think we should just be helping each other. We are
Mhm.
still doing a lot of innovations, and I think that's important for us in the culinary world, is that we can't stop innovating. We need to find other ways to innovate. But I'm not going to shout it from my rooftop, that's for sure. I think that's a bit rude.
Mm-hmm. And so what's the status now? It's June 1. What's the status now of all
June
your
1.
restaurants? Yeah.
So interestingly, I woke up this morning, Anton, and I looked out the window thinking, wow, I'm going to see a brand new view, and I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. To be honest, it looked identical to yesterday. Um, so I June 1, GCQ commences today. I plead with everyone, don't be stupid. Okay. I think the terminology that the government, the Department of Health is using, MECQ, ECQ, MECQ, GCQ, and then MGCEQ. We can't rest on our laurels on safety. I think we still have to maintain a level of measures that we need to follow in order for us to not be stupid. You know, we are going to hit another wave. It's inevitable. Okay, but let's not all go out and bombard malls and bombard restaurants. As much as I want you to spend your money inside my restaurants, don't get me wrong. We still have to think about the larger picture here. So I think we still have to maintain a level of discipline when we're going around this GCQ timeline, and think twice before making actions, because what we do now is going to impact us in the long run. And the less we do, to be honest, is the better for us. And the restaurants, in terms of like my personal restaurants, the Test Kitchen is the only one that I have open. Although today is Monday, I don't open on Mondays still, as I want my team, which is very small. We're just 4 of us here, and I want them to relax. I want them to have at least one day off where they can just recharge. And then Tuesday comes, and we still will continue the takeout and delivery and the ready to cook. I don't see the need for us to ballerina around the rules and regulations in order for us to strive for dine-in quite yet. I'm very happy with our takeout menu. And what's great about it is that, you know, guests can have it in the comfort of their home, although I'm sure they're bored of eating at home already. And I'm sure they're bored of seeing their 4 walls, and they want to go out and explore and do different things. But please, let's be smart. Let's not jump to excitement too quickly. We're still very early in this whole pandemic.
Okay. Well, Eric said the industry need to unite for safe dining and getting people back in the restaurants. Good morning, Sir Eric.
You know, Eric has been a trailblazer for us here in the industry. I mean, I have nothing but applause for him. If I applaud now, I think my microphone will go out. But to be honest, Eric, you really are a shining star in our industry right now. Don't stop what you're doing. I think, you know, you are paving the way for a lot of us, and a lot who needs that information. You're sharing the information, and I can't help but applaud you, man. Congratulations.
Okay. Now, question: why Test Kitchen, not Savage or not Helm?
Well, interestingly enough, I have a project that I'm working on, and I'm going to be working on it today for Savage and Helm. So you're the first one to actually to hear that, Anton. Breaking news. But I wanted to be in Test Kitchen because I live here in Rockwell. I don't have to travel so far. I just have to walk down go down an elevator. I feel like the Test Kitchen has enough space where my team can feel safe. I feel also that the range of equipments that I have here in the Test Kitchen are more versatile in a way of creating a brand new, I'm going to call it a COVID-19 pandemic menu, because it's not really what we do on a day-to-day basis here at the Test Kitchen. We've had to change a lot of things to make it more, not interesting or inviting, but more approachable to anyone. You know, people come to the Test Kitchen to have this experience-based dinner or lunch, but when you're eating at home, we can't replicate that, Anton. It's impossible for us to even charge for that particular service because we can't give it. So we changed the whole ethics of the menu, but keeping the fundamentals of making sure that we only have the best ingredients, and base the menu around those particular things. And that's kind of where we are with the Test Kitchen. It's much more simple, and we wanted to make sure that I was close to it in order for me to have a very good oversight over the operations, because I am still working. You know, there are still other restaurants that we have open in the company, and of course, with restaurants open, there's always going to be issues that need to be fixed. So you know, I'm always going in and out, in and out, in and out. But I know that my team is safe, which is priority. And what we're doing here is safe as well for guests to enjoy their food at home.
All right. So what's the project with Savage and
See, I only told you a little snippet there, and I'm not going to go into any more detail. Sorry to get you excited for nothing. I'm literally just going to start working on it after our little conversation here. But I
Okay.
do expect that maybe in the next couple of weeks we'll be up and running. And again, I'm gonna reiterate this right now. You know, my restaurants were based around this level of making memories for guests. And experience-based dining. And currently, if we can only have takeout and delivery, we don't know what the DTI is going to implement. We have some type of guidelines, but they're going to be quite challenging for us to go around, especially in my restaurants. Like Helm, for example, that seats 10. I can't space a meter in between because that means I'll only have 4 guests a night. So lots of changes. Again, all the concepts will still remain that important mantra of, you know, everything of the best quality and so forth, but we'll be removing the experience base and creating menus that are more susceptible to takeouts, deliveries, and so forth.
Wow, that's interesting. How about the Bistro group? What's the thinking of your Bistro restos?
So of course, you know, we're a very big company. I mean, Eric, who's on this chat right now, he, of course, his company is slightly larger than ours, but I think we have a more versatile selection of concepts. We are trying to, we are keeping a very positive outlook on this. Okay, I can't speak for everyone in our company, of course, but from my side, from my part of the group, from the culinary side, we want to keep on trying to innovate as much as possible. You know, we can't stop because a pandemic tells us to stop. We are chefs, we're creative people, we need to keep moving. So we've opened a few stores, again, takeout and delivery. So we've made a few changes on the menu. We've removed a few items that we don't feel would live up to from getting from the restaurant to B to the home. If it doesn't survive that particular transition period, then it's no point us having that on the menu. So we we changed a few things that way, and we're making sure that things are much better in terms of quality and consistency throughout our restaurants. We can take this time as a interesting period where we're not actually cooking the service in a way. We're not having very late nights because of curfew. So we have the time and energy to really look at what we're doing from a food side and analyze it. And then when things do resume to some type of normality, we'll be stronger than ever.
All right. Wow. And so I just put in some comments. Hi, good morning. um, Chinky, and of course,
Chinky.
yeah. But for the amazing grit, and of
Hey
course,
Chinky,
Eric.
how's Matt? I
How's,
wonder if he's going to respond to that.
I don't know. Maybe Matt will respond.
Yeah, yeah.
um. So the question is, what will how do you think about the dine-in? As Eric would say, we will dine in again, and I know they're talking to DTI to open, let's say mid-June. Would you open it, and what would the dine-in experience be?
Well, first things first, we need to assess what current situation, where we are with the pandemic at that particular point when we dine in again. I was talking to my wife the other evening when we were eating at home. No, actually, we were waiting for food. We were picking up food from the mall to bring home, take out, right? And I said, if this restaurant was full, would you eat here when it opens up again? And her immediate answer, without hesitation, was no. So we have this. That was just my missus. You know, I'm sure other people might have other different things, but we have to think about the impact that this pandemic has brought onto us mentally to warrant the safety of eating out again. So it's our jobs now as restaurateurs, as restaurant owners, to instill the confidence back into the diner. Now, a sanitation bottle at the entrance is not going to do that. You know, there are so many steps that we as operators need to take in order for us to make the guests feel comfortable and safe once more. So predicting the June opening of restaurant dine-ins, it's hard to say right now because I still believe we as restaurant owners here in the Philippines have to learn a lot and have to implement so many different steps in order for us to make it safe and comfortable for guests once more. So now's our time. We're coming in June 1, let's say June 15, doors open again. That gives us 2 weeks only to put in systems, educate our staff, educate our front of house. You know, is it enough time for guests to feel comfortable? I don't think so. I think I would rather not rush into it quite yet. I would rather slow and do it properly in order for my guests to feel 100% safe when they're dining inside my restaurants. That's my personal opinion. I know there's a lot of restaurant owners out there that, of course, we need to generate income. Our business is about income, but we can't be stupid. Don't just think June 15, we're going to open our doors and you haven't prepared. Please think again. Take this time now while we're still in GCQ to really prepare for opening and make sure that the guests can see everything that you're doing in order to create a safe dining experience.
All right. You've seen this list from Singapore, all the restaurants closing. In the Philippines, everyone is fighting. And in your in the restaurants that you manage, is closing one of the things you're considering, or everything will be fighting until the end?
I think we as Filipinos, we have a fighting spirit. Okay, we must persist, even though we may reach our last 25 centavos. Let us keep pushing and striving, because we know at the end of all of this, there's going to be a beautiful blue sky. But we just have to wait it out and get through this very dark tunnel that we're going through right now. And if we all work together, it's going to help us in the long run. I'm not saying, financially supporting another business. That's not what I'm saying. But sharing ideas and sharing methods in order for us to get through this is going to be a very important role right now. And I won't consider closing. That's not in my DNA. I want to keep pushing, whether I have to do it on my own or with a very small team. We will keep pushing until we're able to make this. That's how we are as a culture, Anton.
Yes, I love that about our culture, and
Yes.
everyone's actually fighting. Now, question on pricing. What's your sorry?
Little motorbike going around.
Question on pricing and the cost of supply these days. Was there any difference, and what's your strategy?
So I'm gonna say it in two answers. So from the corporate side, we can't change too many ingredients because cost is high. Because at the end of the day, we have menus that have been in our restaurants for 15, 20 plus years. Changing one thing, the guests will experience that when they get to their dining table. So we're very protective over what ingredients we use inside the company. So if the costs have gone up, which some have, we have to absorb that one way or another in order for our guests to get the best possible dish. In my personal restaurants now, I am at full liberty of changing things when I want and how I want to, because we don't have the heritage that us in the Bistro group have. That we do dishes here in the test kitchen or in Helm or Savage. 1 week is on the menu, the next week it's off, and a new one's replaced it. So we have the complete freedom of, okay, something's going up right now, we need to change this particular protein, let's do something different, in order for us to make sure that we're able to sell it at a price that is friendly for the customer, at a price that is friendly for us in terms of cost. And both get the same thing, a great experience, and we are able to make a margin amount of income. So yeah, two different outlooks, and I have to change my mind, my thinking ever so often because of the two different outlooks.
Okay, and let's talk about fine dining. A lot of people are saying fine dining is dead, and but some people are saying it's just it will be the first one to bounce back, because a lot of people wants to like exclusivity when dining comes back. Oh, what do you think about fine dining in this era of post COVID?
Well, I think a lot of us chefs, we haven't been making much money recently, so I don't think we'll be going out spending a lot of money in fine dining restaurants. That's for sure. I think Jollibee, McDonald's, and Army Navy is going to get the most of my wallet. um, but um, I want to think positive because I have a very fine dining restaurant, and my price is expensive. Do I expect people to spend that after this? I can't really say. There are some industries that are surviving very well with this pandemic. There are industries that have been hit terribly, like ours. Will the Filipino spending power warrant the luxury of eating in a fine dining restaurant? Is to be seen. We really can't predict it. I hope they can, because I don't want to say fine dining is dead. We are fine dining. That's all I've learned to do in the career that I've been in cooking. So I don't want to say that it's dead. I think, like my previous statement, we'll hold on till the very end, and see how it goes.
Okay. And how about your new restaurants? I know before the lockdown, you were supposed to open the waffle place and
Yep.
other restaurants. So what's the status of those new restaurants? Everything put on hold?
Everything is put on hold at the moment. Of course, again, this quarantine period, especially when GCQ started and then ECQ, we were able to work without physically working inside the restaurant. So we were able to set up all the systems and things like that. So construction wise, we're not finished. We were very close to finishing Brooksy's. I mean, it was probably just a few more licks of paint and then we could have opened, and that's when we shut down. But if things resume to normality, it'll be a plug and play situation. All the hard work has already been done. So all the training has been done. We just need to do a little bit of a refresher. So when things do resume to normality, we can literally just take it off the shelf and plug it straight into the restaurant, and we can open with a fantastic new restaurant.
Yes. And how about Ghost Kitchen? What do you think of this, Ghost Kitchen or cloud kitchens?
Yep.
Are you guys doing it for your group?
We have actually. So only 3 weeks ago, we commenced one cloud or ghost kitchen. So we were able to use my development kitchen, and that was where we were able to introduce 1, 2, 4 concepts in one kitchen. So luckily, my development kitchen it's very much a how do I say this? You can pull an equipment out and put a new one in. It's modular in a way. So creating kitchens around different concepts was very simple for that particular process. And it's been doing very well. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm actually due to go there after this conversation as well, to go and check up on it. And it's great to see, 4 concepts working under one roof. All of them have their own set of rules. They're keeping their concepts integrity intact without mixing with other concepts, and it's a very interesting project, and it may be the way forward for the short term while we are in this pandemic.
Yeah. Is that well, what were the learnings there? Is that financially viable, better than like doing a restaurant and takeout?
Well, like with you have to assess it in a way that you have less overheads. In a way, you have only one rent. You are able to produce multiple different cuisines out of one kitchen. Those cuisines are restaurants on their own, so they have their own level of support from customers that complement each other in a way. So if I'm ordering from, say, for example, Bulgogi Brothers, which I love Korean food, but my missus, she loves Chinese food, so she's going to order from Modern Shanghai. The benefit is going straight into one premises, double the amount as what one restaurant would get in a way. So it does work financially quite well. I mean, we are still exploring it. This is still early days. 3 weeks in, we can't really say that we know all the data from it. So let's keep monitoring it, and I think it is quite a positive way forward.
Yes. Yeah, I think that might be one of the ways moving forward. In the test kitchen, what's next for you?
Hmm. I don't know. Well, I do know, but now I'm thinking, do I want to tell Anton? No, so I can. I mean, to be honest, I don't really want to because I had this whole marketing thing inside my head. But
Okay.
I'm going to be
Sure.
opening a full-on bakery,
Okay.
which will open in the next couple of weeks. So when ECQ started, I was bored out of my brains, Anton. I didn't know what to do with myself. Like, my family, they don't see me much because I'm working. I work from very early in the morning and I finish very early the following morning. So I hardly saw them. So being at home, they got bored out. They were tired of seeing me around the house. I was like a lost puppy. I didn't know what to do with myself because not working is such a foreign thing for me to just stop. And I decided that, I'm going to bake bread on the weekends and sell it through the test kitchen. Just come down the elevator, bake bread, and sell it to residents that were around the area. So surprisingly, it went really well, like beyond my expectations on how well it actually did. And then we started to introduce this ready to cook, and that went well. And then we did the takeout delivery menu, which is doing fantastic. And I've kind of, because I started doing the ready to cook and the ready to eat, I kind of lost the emphasis on the breads a little bit because I'm only one person trying to spread myself quite thin. So it's like, in order for me to revive the bread, I need to have a bigger premises and I need to be able to do better selections. So I spoke to the company and of course we have the equipment. It's not getting used at the moment, so I kind of pleaded a little bit that hey, let me use it. And so yeah, the Test Kitchen Bakery will open within the next couple of weeks, and with that we'll be doing deliveries and actually a subscription. So you would pay one amount every month and you'll receive 4 boxes of breads. Varies every week, so you'll never really know what selections of breads you'll be getting. And we'll do pastries as well. So it's going to be a very interesting project. I'm very excited about it, and I think it's going to be a very fun project. It's going to be a lot. Bread's been a love affair of mine ever since. So now I'm putting my money where my mouth is and having to really push on it rather than being a hobby.
So what have you been doing during the quarantine? I know you're at home. You did not do social media.
No, I did. When it started, I thought, I'm going to start vlogging. That's what I thought. I thought, yeah, I'm going to start a vlog, and day by day on what the quarantine is doing to me. But then when I started growing my facial hair, I looked really messy, and I thought I can't do a vlog like this. But I was persistent. I want to grow my facial hair, so the vlog went out the window. I've been trying to focus on the test kitchen as much as possible. When quarantine started, we as in the company, we did a lot of charity cooking. So we were able to do 40,000+ dishes to help those in need over the course of a month and a half, which again, you might not have seen much on social media. I didn't post about it. It wasn't for us to boast about. Again, this was in a time when people needed more than anything that we needed promotion. So we can happily say in our own minds that we did something great, and we will do it again. But we just need to make sure that we have the right sponsorships and the systems in place, and we'll happily do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure like everyone else, quarantine is doing your head in. You're getting bored out of your brains, but the most important thing right now for me is to keep a very positive attitude. You need to keep looking at the bright side of all of this. There is going to be a silver lining. We just need to wait for it. Let's not get depressed. Let's not get bummed down. We can do this together. This isn't a one-player game right now. We all need to come together and do our little parts to make our industry better.
Okay. So wait, Kath, hi, good morning. I think they're digging your mustache. But also, Kath has a question. Do you do the two-door breads? Two-door
No.
bread? No.
What the hell is a two-door breads?
What is Maybe Kath, you can comment.
Okay, well, Catherine, I'm going to Google this now because I
Okay.
don't know if I should. Maybe I should know what it is. I mean, isn't the Tudors like this old English family during Victorian times? I'm going to be very quiet right now. Let's see. Okay, Catherine, I'm going to look this up and I'll let you know. You'll probably see it on our social media. It's a very old type of biscuit bread, but let's see. Wait and see.
Okay. All right.
You see what quarantine's doing to people? It's making them crave some of the weirdest of things, Anton.
Yeah. And you know, you have this a lot of new innovations, sushi bake and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the Dalgona coffee, you know, that started off really big during quarantine. I tell you, my
Uh-huh.
daughter made it like a couple of weeks ago for the first time, and I was like, oh, "You're a bit late on the trend, aren't you, darling?"
And
So
have
many things
you
have been coming up.
thought about TikTok and all this stuff?
No, my daughter loves TikTok, so I downloaded it. And this is another thing, you know, before quarantine started, I thought, yeah, whatever, I'll do a TikTok account. I didn't understand it, Anton. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm too old or it's just not really my thing. Um, I think I did one or two TikToks, and whoever's watching this on the replay or live right now, don't get excited. I did not do a dance. So it's just one of those things that I just tried out. I'm not gonna do any more. It's just there. Although I hear that TikTok is the next big social media platform to be on for promoting. So, but not my cup of tea. I'm quite happy with Instagram.
Yeah. Wait. We have comment from Meg. Meg loved the sourdough bread.
Make sure you
Is there
subscribe when we get the bakery up and running, Meg.
so? Is there something that you do for your sourdough bread, or?
We mix it by hand. Okay, so we don't use any machineries. So it's still a very old school way of making breads. To be honest, nothing is weighed. We have a beautiful starter that's been going for the longest time already, and it's just love, attention, and time that goes into our bread. Nothing else.
Mhm.
We won't rush it. So if somebody comes here on a Saturday and the bread's not ready, I'm sorry, the bread's not ready, because we don't want to rush it. You know, every day the bread reacts differently to the amount of humidity, to the amount of heat. So if it's not ready at 11 o'clock, I'm sorry, maybe at 2 o'clock in the afternoon it's going to be ready. But you know, we make sure that everything is just right before it goes into the oven, and that's what makes ours a little bit different.
Yes. All right. Maybe can we have a photo before we
Yeah,
do?
I'll stand up
Yes.
straight.
All right. One, two, one more. Let's do this layout. Yeah. This is better. All right. One, two. So is this the new normal look already, or
No,
is this
I don't.
just a fix?
I don't think so. You know what's beautiful about this is that I have to wear. We all have to wear masks out in public, right? But even when we're in the restaurant, we have a mask, so nobody really sees what I've got growing underneath the mask. But I've realized that I've had to up my game on what masks I use, because if I use just a regular surgical mask, the moustache gets stuck to your cheeks, and it doesn't look right when you take the mask off. So you have to use the right mask in order for the moustache to survive the day.
So
That's a
what
lesson for you kids who are thinking about doing it.
do you have that? Can you show it? Do you
Oh,
have that?
I use an N95 mask. That so it's got a great point to it, so you don't have to.
Okay.
It doesn't. So I'm a stickler. I don't want to use fabric masks. I feel like we have to protect ourselves a little bit more. Not protect us. I'm sorry. I'll reiterate that we have to protect those around us a little bit more. And my mentality is that pretend like or think like you have COVID-19 in order to protect those around you. So wearing the right mask, I feel, is indispensable at the moment. You need to really protect those around you and make them feel comfortable. So if I see somebody with a bandana, I'll walk the other way.
Okay.
I
Wait.
heard Rachel in the background there.
Yeah. So Kat said two-door jumbles or two-door nuts. Anyway, you'll figure this out.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, maybe we'll close this. Any final advice to people? It's June 1, and
It's June 1.
it's GCQ, and
Yes.
maybe some final thoughts to.
I might take my top off and run in the street for a little bit, but I'll keep my mask on. No, that wasn't my final thoughts. I'm sorry, Anton. My final my final thoughts are stay safe, of course. Don't let a acronym determine how you're going to act beyond from yesterday to today. I think we still have to be very conscious of where we are right now with the pandemic. From a restaurant side point of view, I try your hardest to survive this, but I know it's not in everybody's possibility or reach. So we'll get through this. We will all work together to get through this. And once this is all over, I hope to God we can all come together without social distancing and, have a really good beer, cold beer all together, guys. So we'll see you at the end of this. Keep innovating, keep working, stay safe and do your part to flatten this curve.
All right. Thank you, Chef Josh.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you. And we're here talking to thank you for Chef, what happened to the wine pala? I forgot to ask. What happened to this whole wine industry or drinking? What did a lot of people? You sell a lot of wines also, right?
Well, I have wine down here for sale downstairs. Some of our bottles that we have, they're at a discounted price because, of course, we're not charging for service, wine service, essentially. Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Hi, good.
Yeah. So the wines are there to sell, but it's I don't think we're selling much, to be honest.
Okay.
A bottle here and there, but it's not. Nobody is bulk buying wines, and we have some nice wines. So if anyone wants wine, they know where to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Any questions? It's really nice to see you, Chef.
It's nice to see you guys. It's really nice. You all look super healthy and great. Hope the kids are doing well. And after all of this, we'll all get together again, I'm sure.
Yeah. We admire what you do with your philosophy during this time of crisis. And that's actually the right thing to do.
Yes.
And that's counterintuitive from everybody else. So.
Yeah. Let's just keep pushing. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.